My name is Sol Fletcher.
And I'm James Petkovic.
And we are based here in Tortola in BVI. I had the pleasure of recruiting you to Ireland. When was it? About 3 months ago?
Yeah, it was about 3 months. Yeah.
3 months ago now. And I thought, I'm obliged to sort of come over here, make sure James is settling in well and see the island.
That's very good of you, Sol.
Appreciating
the crosses you bear.
Exactly. Appreciating that when I was recruiting you, I'd never been here before. So I wanted to make sure what I was telling you was true.
Yeah.
But look, how are you settling in?
Yeah, it's been great. It's been really great. As I said, I've been out here about 3 months now, and I think one of the best things is just having a really new adventure and just experiencing a whole new place, new people. And yeah, it's just been a lot of fun.
Nice. I'm glad to hear it. What was the relocation process like outside of just the flight over here?
Yeah.
But finding a car, finding a rental, a property, was it relatively easy?
It was relatively easy. I mean, I've come out to a relatively large law firm out here called Harneys. And so I think they're very adept at relocating people because obviously they've done this many, many times before. So before I got on the flight, all the documentation and everything had been taken care of by HR. I also had a program, so it wasn't like I was sort of going into the unknown. I had a program for my first week, and indeed they give you the first week kind of off work to help you settle in and everything like that. And I rocked up to the hotel after I landed. There was food waiting for me. There was enough for a month basically. And so that all really helped just kind of making the whole process smooth, because it is a daunting process, sort of leaving what getting on a plane and zipping off to the other side of the world. But I the firm that I have joined has been very, very good at making me sort of feel, welcomed from day one, and like I'm not sort of on my own in a new place.
So obviously, when I was speaking to you, you were an established and experienced barrister back in the UK. I remember having the conversations where you were on the fence. Were you coming? Was it the right thing? But what was the penny drop moment where you just thought, look, let's do this, and it feels right?
Yeah, it's a complex decision deciding to do something like this, and I think there's a range of sort of professional but also personal considerations. And I think the firms are really conscious about that in terms of when you come out, that it's more than simply a professional decision. On a personal level, I'd reached a kind of stage in my life where I wanted a change from London. I wanted something new. I think my wife wanted a bit of a change as well. We had young kids. And we thought, if we don't do this now, if we don't have an adventure now, we're never going to have one. And, we just thought, let's try something new. Let's have a change. On a professional level, I was looking at great work out here, really nice people. I was also quite attracted by, the team environment of working in a firm. My last place was absolutely wonderful. People were absolutely lovely, but the nature of a barrister's work is quite isolated. And I had always sort of wondered, what would it be like to work in a more kind of team environment? And this has really given me that. It was a combination of sort of professional and personal factors. And, frankly, also, I wanted to have the opportunity of having, some time where I could just, be with my kids on a beach.
Touching on that as well. Obviously, being a barrister in the UK, I imagine it's different out here. The court procedures, the transition one from onshore to offshore. How did you find that transition?
Honestly, very smooth. The practice which I had in the UK was pretty similar to the practice out here. Civil procedure rules are very similar. I suppose the difference would be that in a way things are more personal here because the market is smaller, so you get to know your opposition a bit more. You get to know the judges a bit more.
Okay.
I wouldn't say they know me yet, but I'm sure they'll come to in due course. And so I think it's a little bit more personal, but in terms of the law, there is stuff to learn, and there is a period of getting up to speed. And there's also kind of quite important institutionalized knowledge, which you benefit from being part of a firm. So although the transition is relatively easy, there is a fair bit to learn. But the good thing about being in a firm is you can learn from your colleagues kind of as you go on the job, and I found that quite important.
I think that's an interesting question. I think everyone always asks, what is the transition like? But it sounds like Harneys, your firm, really sort of bedded you in and sort of just made you feel comfortable with that.
They have been absolutely fantastic. I mean, I think there's a real consideration about the whole person at Harneys. And I think real efforts are made to support people because, I think they recognize people are out here a long way from home, adjusting to a new life. And I found that the firm has taken real care with people personally. And I know that's not just for me. I've heard lots of other people, everyone's got things going on in their lives as well as at work. And my experience of the firm has been very positive, and that they really care about people. And that has made this whole transition a lot easier.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I know you're a family man, and I know you've sort of come out here, got yourself embedded, and then your wife and kids will move out here afterwards. But I mean, how do you think they're going to like it out here?
I think they'll love it. I mean, my oldest kid is 6, and so I can just imagine him kind of running around on the beach with his sister and just having an absolutely brilliant time. And also, frankly, me and my wife having a brilliant time. I'm looking forward to spending time with her. And one of the great things about living out here is my commute has reduced from an hour and 15 minutes each way, sitting on the tube, having someone cough in your face, feeling the cold, all of that kind of stuff. And, it's England's pretty dark in the winter as well. My commute has reduced to kind of 10, 15 minutes driving along a seaside road. And, some mornings I wake up and I'm in a busy spell or whatever, and to relax, I just go for a drive and I look at the sea. And I suspect that just by killing that commute, it gives you a fair amount of time during the week. And I'm looking forward to giving some of that time back to my family. I'm looking forward to spending some of that time with my wife, frankly.
Yeah, brilliant.
So yeah.
No, that's brilliant. So I've definitely experienced some of the quality of food out here, and I was really impressed by the amount of restaurants and bars. But I mean, outside of that, I mean, have you been out on a boat yet? Have you sort of visited any of the other islands, or are you saving that for when the family come out?
Yes, I'm going on a fishing trip tomorrow. So BD tends to be on the water out here. So I've been on a boat trip twice now. Once as part of a corporate junket, which was a fantastic day, and we all had a wonderful time. And then once sort of a lot of the expat workers out here will club together and do a boat day as well. And so I've done that, and as I say, I'm going on a fishing trip tomorrow, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, whenever I get the opportunity, I try and get out onto the water, because it's one of the principal reasons why I'm out here.
Right. I mean, what would you, I guess, if you had to give some advice, because I think this video probably would have helped, yourself when you were making the move out here to envision what, someone to have 10 years of experience as a barrister to make this move. I mean, what advice would you give someone, who is considering maybe making this move with a family as well?
I think it's a kind of sort of nothing ventured, nothing gained mentality that you've got to have with this. I mean, we took the view, let's just give it a try. A lot of the contracts out here are for 2 years, and we very much hope that this becomes our permanent home. But what enabled me to make the move was sort of to say, let's have an adventure for 2 years. Let's see how it goes. And that made, rather than thinking I'm committing to living in a place I've never visited for the next 30 years, that made it sort of possible. And then while you're out here, I'd just say, just be really kind of grateful for what this place has to offer. So, for example, people are very polite. Like, people come in, you come into a room here and people expect you to say good morning. You come in and the room responds good morning. And so there are those real social graces, which I feel that we've lost for a large part in England. And so it's things like that. It's appreciating the water. It's appreciating that people are incredibly polite. It's appreciating the culture. And at the end of the day, I'm living in someone else's country effectively now.
Yeah.
You've got to be very grateful for what you find here. And so I'd say do that. Come out with a sort of let's see how it goes kind of attitude. And then while you're out here, try and look for the positives, and there are many.
Yeah.
About being out here, and have that kind of positive mindset.
Brilliant. No, I couldn't agree more. I mean, when I made that move to Cayman, it was a very similar situation of, embracing the culture around you, embracing, everyone's pretty much in the same situation as you are at one stage. You've moved over here on your own.
Yeah.
And, and everyone's so welcoming, just so welcoming to be.
Well, that's one thing I found, because everyone's in the same boat as well. I don't know about you, but I found the expat community to be quite kind.
Yeah.
Out here, because I think everyone's conscious that we're all having an adventure, but also that everyone's far from home.
Yeah.
Which has been great.
Brilliant. Well, look, I'm sure we're going to chat more over dinner, but look, thanks for taking the time. So hopefully it's been helpful for everyone as well. But yeah, catch you again soon.
Thanks, Sol.